Kia is entering the big stage. The Korean automaker is bringing one of its most important novelties we've seen in years, as this time, it's going to challenge some of the most iconic pickups in the world, such as the Toyota HiLux and Ford Ranger. Will it make it? Let's find out. Unique styling to stand out. Okay, let's start with some of the freshest pieces of information. Digital renderings, though unofficial, have just been revealed, based on the official camouflaged photo Kia presented recently. And from what we can see, styling is going to be Kia's way to stand out. Of course, the most intriguing is the front-end design, which brings some pretty unconventional aesthetic solutions. Small headlights on the outer edges of the front face are the easiest to notice, but black front wheel arches are also a part that looks rather untypical. And headlights aren't the only unusual design solutions. Along with them, the Tasman brings pretty interesting T-shaped daytime running lights, which are followed by a pretty unusual grille design, with a black central part combined with flanked body-collared inserts. The whole combination of these design solutions makes Kia's pickup look unconventional. But the story doesn't end there. If you look from the side, you will also notice some untypical things such as black wheel arches with sharp creases that run across the doors. That's not what you usually see on a pickup truck, while the only part we could say it actually looks conventional is the rear end, with a pretty common LED light bar and vertically positioned LED taillights. Less untypical dimensions and overall design. These digital renderings definitely show a pretty unusual design, but overall, it is still a typical pickup truck, designed to compete with HiLux and Ranger. After all, it's easy to look back at those spy photos from a few months ago, when the new Tasman was standing camouflaged next to the Ford Ranger. Thanks to these photos, we learned that the overall proportions will be pretty close to Ford's pickup. We learned that the two models will feature pretty similar overall sizes, but we also learned that the Korean pickup is going to feature a slightly shorter wheelbase. This will compromise approach and departure angles for a bit, but on the other hand, it will be highly beneficial in terms of maneuvering. The test mule features a double cab layout, but we won't exclude the possibility of seeing a single or extended cab variant as well. After all, the Kia Tasman is planned for parts of the world like Australia, Asia, and Africa, so a work-oriented version will be more than welcome. Styling can definitely attract more customers, but in the long run, pickup trucks are all about the substance. And that's why it's great to know that the Tasman won't just be a rebadged Hyundai Santa Cruz or some other crossover-based pickup. No, this is going to be a genuine truck, riding on a genuine body-on-frame platform, something that will show potential to compete with the toughest models in the class, such as the aforementioned Ranger and HiLux, as well as models like Isuzu D-Max. Once again, we can refer to the spy shots of the test mule because the camouflage didn't hide everything. Some things were pretty transparent, and that particularly refers to the vehicle's underbody, which showed some typical features for the segment, starting with traditional leaf springs on the rear end, which are still the best solution for vehicles that need to tow, haul, and be durable. Kia already announced it's aiming for benchmark figures in the segment, and that would be around 3.5 tons of max towing capacity and over a ton when it comes to the max payload capacity. But that's not all. We noticed another interesting thing about the Tasman, because on another occasion, the test mule was equipped with coil springs on the rear end. Does this mean that Kia is testing an off-road version too? Or it may plan to offer different suspension setups, depending on the trim level or even body style. It wouldn't be the first time to see things like that. In North America, for example, Toyota offers its Tacoma both with leaf springs and coil springs, depending on whether you pick an extended or crew cab layout. If you ask us, we're leaning towards the first scenario, where the more complex suspension setup would be reserved for a dedicated off-road version. Will it be a hardcore off-roader like Ranger Raptor? It's hard to say at the moment. Still, we expect to see at least some off-road bits, such as standard four-wheel drive, low-range gearing, upgraded wheels and tires, locking differential, underbody protection, etc. Powertrain options. First and foremost, Kia's new pickup will have to meet typical standards for the segment, and that refers to a 4-cylinder turbo diesel. Some typical figures in the segment are between 130 kilowatts and 150 kilowatts in terms of power, and between 450 and 500 newton meters of torque. Kia may have a perfect engine to meet these criteria. Of course, we are talking about the well-known 2.2-liter turbo diesel, which has been used for a variety of Hyundai and Kia models. And in most cases, the max output goes around 149 kilowatts and 441 newton meters of torque, or 202 horsepower and 325 pound-feet if you prefer. That's close to the segment benchmarks, so the Korean engineers might tune it up a bit as well. But that probably won't be the only powertrain option available. We can hear a lot of talk about the 6-cylinder turbo diesel as well. That's not a new thing for the segment, considering that Ford and VW have been offering it for a while. In Kia's case, there has been a perfect engine for this occasion. Namely, a few years ago, the Korean carmaker developed a new 3.0-liter inline-6 turbo diesel, which has only been installed in the Genesis GV80 so far. So this might be a good opportunity to return at least something of the money invested in development. That engine puts out quite an impressive 204 kilowatts and 588 newton meters of torque, and it would be a great addition to the lineup. So the main question is, will there be enough interested buyers, considering that most of us see this pickup as a more affordable alternative to well-established players in the segment? On the other hand, we won't exclude the possibility of seeing the new pickup offered with petrol engines. After all, Kia announced it would be sold in Africa and the Middle East, and there, diesel doesn't perform particularly well. No, petrol is the key word in these parts of the world. So there are a few options that come to our minds. One of them, a more modern, is the relatively new 2.5-liter Turbo 4, which puts out around 210 kilowatts or 280 horsepower, and also offers plenty of low-end torque, thanks to a turbocharger. Still, a simpler, more durable engine may be a better solution. So let's not neglect those large V6 units, such as the 3.8-liter engine from the Telluride. That may be a great choice for a pickup like this. With pickups, reliability and durability come before power and efficiency. So besides more conventional powertrain options, we also expect the same approach when it comes to transmission. Namely, some sources speculate about a dual-clutch transmission, which is something Kia and Hyundai have been installing in a lot of their models lately. But still, a classic automatic gearbox seems like a way more adequate choice for a pickup like this. What do you think about the possibility of an inline-6 turbo diesel? Could such a version be a game changer? Write in the comments and give us your thoughts. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button, because more content like this is coming. Interior design. What can we say about the interior design at the moment? Well, not much, because even though some spy shots appeared, they don't show much. The Korean car maker managed to cover most of the cabin, so it's hard to say anything about the dashboard design, for example. On the other hand, these images clearly show a mix of leather and cloth seat upholstery, as well as massive grab handles on pillars. Furthermore, earlier spy shots showed a classic T-shaped gear shifter, which indicates a rugged overall design approach. As mentioned, the dashboard design is still a mystery, but we may expect to see something stylish. Pickups are no longer bare-boned work machines. They offer quality interiors as well, and we don't expect anything different from the Tasman. Moreover, it may even come with a generous offer of tech features. The higher trim level may even come with Kia's new curved panel design, which incorporates a digital instrument cluster and infotainment screen, which would definitely help Tasman stand out from the crowd. Of course, base models will most likely come with something more modest, such as a smaller infotainment screen and analog instrument cluster. Various kinds of modern connectivity features are expected as well, along with advanced driver assistance systems. We already established that Kia's new pickup is about to come in a double cab layout. That model is expected to feature 4 full-size doors and plenty of room to accommodate adults in the second row. A more work-oriented version is expected too, most likely an extended cab layout. As for the cargo bed, given the expected dimensions, the double cab version will most likely feature a 1.5-meter bed, while the extended cab will be a little bit more generous, probably with around 1.8 meters. Both ratings are typical for the segment. Launch date. The Korean automaker already confirmed that the 2025 Kia Tasman will hit the market by the end of this year, and judging by the model's nameplate, it's pretty obvious that Australia is going to be the key market. The officials also announced that the new pickup will be offered in parts of the world like the Middle East, South America, and Asia, where it's expected to arrive soon after. As for the North American market, things are still pretty unclear. Without any doubt, this truck has the potential to compete with models like Tacoma and Colorado, but the officials have been quiet on this matter so far. We presume more details about this will come soon, but it's pretty obvious that Kia would have to establish production in North America to avoid chicken tax and offer the new pickup at competitive prices. What are your thoughts on the new 2025 Kia Tasman? Is this the pickup we've been waiting for? Is this a pickup that can make HiLux and Ranger run for their money? Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.